Hi, I'm Lindsay and I'm a freelance technician for ID Hair UK. Today I'm here to show you my go-to technique for that seamless balayage to brighten up for that summer blonde. So today I'm going to do my go-to sectioning technique for this look. It is very simple, there's not lots to it. So we're going to do quite a thick face frame today. So I'm going to go from the top of the head down to the top of the ear for my first section, and we're just going to do this on both sides. Then I'm going to go from the highest point of the head down again to the top of the ear. So we're creating a triangle at the top there on the side. I'm going to get that completely out of our way as well. Same on the other side. And very simple at the back, I only work in 2 sections. And there we go, ready to start. So today we're going to start at the back with this technique. Now normally I would start my face framing first, but as we can see, if I just move Abby around here, it is quite light at the front where we've been topping it up. And we've obviously got this massive root at the back. So I'm going to work with this first and then come round to the front, just so we don't end up over damaging the front area. So what I'm going to start with first is the hairline. So I'm just going to take a few small sections around the base of the neck there to get started. Now we don't mind these bits being really light, so I am going to back home, but just ever so slightly, just to make that highlight a little bit more seamless there. I'm going to offload my colour there where that banding is, where the dark meets the light, and then I'm just going to use the back of my brush to take that up. We are going to take this colour up quite high, because Abby doesn't get her hair done very often, so we do want it to last. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 really fine ones to start that off, just bringing that up to the back of the ear, and we're just going to repeat that on the other side. So again, get to the top of the ear, bring that down, nice fine section. So for this technique I do always work on a diagonal, except for the bit in the middle that I'm going to show you now. So as we can see, we're creating a triangle there in the centre, and this is where we want a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to just come across there, and you can see how bright that's gotten. So my plan is to put a lighter one there, and I'm just going to put a little lower light in here to create that dimension we need. So I'm going to do this one quite thick. So the low light formula I'm using isn't too dark, it's just something that's going to blend back in with Abby's natural colour. We will put another blonde one on top of that dark one, just to create that brightness on top, and then we're going to go and follow that right up by going down a diagonal, then triangle, diagonal, triangle. Now we're going to start at the front on the money piece. Now we do want this really bright, so I'm not going to be putting a low light in here. I'm going to do them quite fine, and I'm still going to brush the colour up so it's more blended. Today we are using Bleach Me with 6%. Because as you can see, Abby's hair isn't that dark. I don't really need anything stronger than that to lift this. So I'm just going to do that nice and fine. The first few, I'm not going to back home these though, like I say, I want that one quite light. Offload, and then I'm just going to turn the brush around and give that a little feather up. And I'm going to leave a tiny, tiny slice of Abby's natural colour in between there, just a little one. And I'm going to follow that up till that section's finished. Okay, so now we're going to start on our last section. So again, I'm following the same kind of pattern as I did throughout the back. So we're just going to cut across here and create that triangle there. But what I've been doing with our biggest triangle section is taking a bit from the top, and then I've been using this for my low light. I'm just going to leave a bit out of there. So the low light I am using today is 8.0, 8.1 and 8.38. I love adding 8.38 to my formulas. I feel like it is great for just adding that extra little bit of tone, but also keeping it from going too dull and adding a little bit of brightness there. And then this is going to be our blonde piece directly on top of that low light. I'm just going to edge that up a little bit higher towards the front, just to blend in with that face frame. And then on this last section, we're going to go back in on our diagonals. So what I'm going to do for my first section is land a low light directly on top of this face frame, just to make the face frame pop a little bit and be brighter. So I'm just going to keep that diagonal angle, go backwards and forwards there, and then blend this just to make sure that that colour is fully saturated and even coverage. Give that a really good back home, just to help with that seamless transition between Abby's own colour and the lighter colour that we're putting in. And just push it down on any darker pieces. And we're going to follow that all the way to the end. So as you can see, we're now finished. So at the basin, I took each foil out individually very carefully, rubbing it through so that we went to create a banding where Abby's roots met them really blonde ends. At the basin we used the colour shampoo from Elements, and then we used the colour conditioner, adding just a couple of drops of 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐦𝐥𝐞𝐬𝐬 in there. The reason I did that was Abby's hair lifted so beautifully, I didn't feel like it needed a toner on there. So I just put a few drops of that into my conditioner just to brighten this up ever so slightly. And then we used 911 spray before we blow dried and put a little curl in there and finished off with the Essentials Strong Hairspray.